Yesterday, the draft plan for the Grampians Garraword was announced. And it seems that there's still a bit of confusion about what the end result is going to be, but Parks Victoria is asking people to read through this draft plan. In amongst the draft plan that was put together over the last 18 months, there'd be 89 designated climbing areas where the risk to cultural heritage or ecological sites can be managed. A further 66 sites will be off limits, and there's over 100 that are still being assessed. Tori Dunn is the owner of Grampians Mountain Adventure Company and is our first guest on the program this morning. Tori Dunn, good morning.
Good morning, Steve. How are you?
Very well. From this draft, what do you make of this as someone heavily involved in climbing in and around the Grampians?
I saw the press release yesterday. I think it was later in the morning, and I've had a skimmed through it. I've read the sections relevant to climbing, and it's just another nail in the coffin, really, for the industry and the pursuit of climbing for local people.
Why so? Why a nail in the coffin, Tori?
Well, look, it's been disastrous. Almost 2 years with this climbing. I'd call it a fiasco. We're initially framed by Parks Victoria for damaging artwork by placing a bolt into artwork which was completely fallacious. That was placed by a land manager. That lie has still pervaded through mainstream media. There was an SBS show on NITV literally last week restating that same lie. And we can't recover from this. It's terrible. If you look at the draft plan, I've had a look at the routes that have been closed. There's been a fair bit of analysis done by some climbers who are looking at it closely. There's only 22% of climbing routes open in the draft management plan. From this a couple of years ago, we had 100% down to 22%, and of those 22%, a lot of the major areas are closed. It's got to a point, Steve, where I'm actually out of the industry. I've had to leave the industry, close my business, and start again somewhere else.
So, okay, and I just want to confirm, Tori, that's because of these bans, not because of the situation with coronavirus. You would have to do that as a business decision.
Coronavirus is a walk in the park compared to these bans. If we went back to tourism pre-COVID levels, everything would be fine. Is that the closures are going to last a lot longer than COVID. And, for example, I am unable to work in some of the areas that I would typically work in. I have school clients that I'm going to have to contact and direct elsewhere. My view is that that there is really nothing that the climbers can do. Everyone's letter writing furiously, but we've got a hostile government that has no real interest in engaging with local communities and bringing us together with Indigenous owners. They're running their own agenda. They manufacture consent through meeting after meeting. There's no democracy involved in any of this process, and my personal opinion is that I need to exit the industry until there's opportunity for legislative change, which is still a couple of years away at the next election. So right. I'm not saying that I won't be a tour guide, a climbing instructor, because I absolutely love that. I did that for over 20 years. I changed people's lives with hugely positive outcomes for people. Climbing is it's a vital activity for this area, a vital activity for school groups with their outdoor education programs. I'll come back after the Andrews government is completely destroyed at the next election, and hopefully there'll be some legislative change that will allow climbing to come back into these regions.
Clearly, you're angry about this, Tori, and I
angry. But look, I'm just one angry person, but I've had to put the anger in a box. I've started a new business recently, which is going really well. I've moved into online retail, and this issue, Steve, was causing so much angst, so much stress to me, and not just me, but other people. People are going through this now in the local community of Nadimuck. I'm not sure if you're aware of what's happening out there. Are you on top of this?
This is Mount Arapiles with a similar situation, is that right?
Oh, my God, yeah. So, look, there's been terrible closures out there. the consultation that it's just lip service. There's no real input from the community. It's almost as if there's a train crash slowly happening, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. There's a lot of angst in the community, and for me personally, what I had to do was to say, all right, I can't give this any more of my psychic energy. I need to do something else. So I'm going to hibernate my business. I can come back to it, I hope, in a couple of years, because I really love that. I love the industry. I love the work I did. It's with a heavy heart that I had to move on to a different industry, but parks leave me no choice.
Tori, I'm going to leave it there, but thank you, and thank you for being so open with your thoughts and so clear on where you stand. Tori Dunn, owner of Grampians Mountain Adventure Company, clearly, as she says, angry, but she has moved into other areas, and I think that reflects a lot of the feeling within the climbing community.